baby. I could ride around the world as an old watch cart and never let another girl feel my heart. Ain't that loving you, baby? Ain't that loving you, baby? Ain't that loving you, baby? Ain't that loving you so? I could meet 100 girls and have loads of fun. My organ and my kids and be long for just the one. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you so. It's the game of nine lives like an alley cat. I give them all to you and never take one back. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you so. Putting on my Sunday suit and I'm going downtown, but I'll be kissing your lips before the sun goes down. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you so. And that loving you, baby. And that loving you so. Elvis Presley, a song I used to sing to my wife. Hey, hey, good looking, what you got it burning?
The signals are set. 1, 4, 3, 0. The right numbers for entertainment. This is WIL and WIL FM St. Louis.
Visibility only, mile and a half, foggy, smoky, 43 degrees.
Doc Riley's yelling for the Big Red to come up with a big play. 3rd and 1. They break out of the huddle. Straight T formation with Charlie Johnson drawing the play. It's WIL Sports with Charlie Johnson, field general of the football side. Now, here's Charlie.
Brought to you this morning by Reese Meyer Motors. Just drop by there on Highway 66 in Crestwood and take a look at that new 65 Ford. You'll love it. Good morning. A full week of excellent workouts will be terminated today as the football Cardinals make final preparations for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Team spirit appears to be back to normal and may reach an all-time high before game time Sunday afternoon. I said appears because I've been fooled 3 times already this season. The Steelers' great middle linebacker, Myron Patios, played the last few minutes of their game with Cleveland last week, so he may be fully recovered from that broken arm he suffered early in the season. That could make things tougher if their complete core of linebackers are ready to go. Notre Dame, with its missile-like offense and Stonewall defense, invades Pittsburgh tomorrow in one of the top college football games of the day. A sellout crowd of 57,000 is expected in Pitt Stadium, the first since 1957. Notre Dame, of course, will be out to defend its ranking as number 1 team in the Associated Press rankings. Leading the Irish attack will be quarterback John Huerta, who has completed 72 passes at 128 attempts for 1,273 yards and 12 touchdowns. Huerta's principal target is Ian Jack Snow, who has caught 41 passes for 7 touchdowns, tying the school season record. He's broken another Notre Dame record by gaining 741 yards on his receptions. The Irish also can move on the ground. Their leading rusher is halfback Bill Walski, who has picked up 468 yards and 6 touchdowns on 94 carries. He also has caught 2 scoring passes. Big gun in the Pittsburgh attack is quarterback Fred Mazurek. He has had a rough time at Pitt's last 4 games, but for the season he has run for 433 yards and 4 touchdowns and has passed for 531 yards and 2 touchdowns. Another top game tomorrow matches 3rd-ranked Alabama against 8th-rated Louisiana State. A bowl bid is expected to go to the winner. In other major games, 2nd-ranked Ohio State goes against Penn State. Number 4 Arkansas meets Rice. 5th-ranked Nebraska takes on Kansas. Number 6 Texas plays Baylor. 7th-ranked Georgia Tech meets Tennessee. Number 9 Florida takes on Georgia. And number 10 Purdue plays Michigan State. The nationally televised game over NBC is Illinois at Michigan. Two games are on the National Basketball Association slate tonight. Baltimore at Cincinnati and New York at San Francisco. Last night, Los Angeles took New York 106-96. Heavyweight king Cassius Clay says he is willing to pay Floyd Patterson $1,000 a round as a sparring partner for the final week of training. Clay defends against former champion Sonny Liston at the Boston Garden on November 16th. He says, "I need someone fast to taper off on." Going by Patterson's article in a national magazine recently, Floyd may take the job if Clay would guarantee 15 consecutive rounds. The World Boxing Association has named New Yorker Joey Archer as the top contender in the middleweight division after his victory over ex-champion Dick Tiger last month. Archer won a split decision over Tiger and replaces Reuben Hurricane Carter as number one contender. Now let's take a short time out. You know, it's a fact, football helps make fall great. But fall of 65 is greater than ever on account of the hottest 65s of them all, the 65 Fords from Reese-Meyer Motors. Believe me, there's nothing like this 65 Ford. I drive a Mustang and I know. This car is so popular, people are crowding to get one. Now here's a tip I've just personally found out from Dave Reese-Meyer that he's got some of the choicest 65 Mustangs in St. Louis available right now for immediate delivery if you act fast. That goes for the fabulous new T-Bird also, and the wagons and the good-looking Galaxies. Not to mention the most luxurious new big Ford to ever come down the pike, the LTD. Now think how sporty you'll look pulling up to a big fall game in one of these terrific new Fords. Well, now's the time to do something about it. At Reese-Meyer Motors, complete stocks mean you get what you want. There's even a big selection of 64s still available at big savings. But hurry to 9201 Highway 66, 1 block east of Crestwood Plaza, and tell them Charlie Johnson sent you. Captain Kenny Boyer, the world champion St. Louis Cardinals, was named Major League Player of the Year yesterday by the Sporting News. The 10-year Cardinal veteran finished the season with 119 RBIs, 24 home runs, and a .295 batting average. Boyer, who knocked a Grand Slam homer in the fourth game of the '64 World Series against the Yankees, is the first Cardinal to lead the majors in RBI since Enos Slaughter had 130 in 1946. Suffering from an injured back, he hit only .227 in June, but finished the first half season with 12 homers, 54 RBIs, and a .288 batting average. With the Cardinals clipping along at a .651 pace the second part of the season, Boyer socked 12 homers, drove in 65 runs, and batted .301. Congratulations, Kenny. That's sports for now. Charlie Johnson calling the signals for Dave Reese-Meyer's great team of Ford experts at Reese-Meyer Motors in Crestwood. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8.
WIL Deano Day Music Time.
Why, it's 6 minutes after 8 a.m.
A fella loves to be with a new girl. The evening flies when he's with a new girl. Female gig gloves do better than wig gloves. Run and see it down south, all fast on their feet, but slow with the answer. The boys don't want the tragic and eerie kind. They've got 1,000 problems to cloud their minds. Some ladies find them with lost-faced guys. The shoulda-made faces and cross their eyes. Debutantes will give up the social world to be a If true love should start
the lady doctor a very funny person. She leaves me stitches, that chick. Boy, oh boy, it's foggy outside. I can't even start to get, it's even getting foggy in the building. You notice that? Oh, that's all right. I got my fog lights on this morning. Feel great. Got my miner's helmet on here, ready to do a show. It's 8 minutes after 8 o'clock and 43 degrees.
Enjoy the rich, full flavor of cream.
Enjoy the rich, full flavor of cream. For the modern taste with corn oil goodness, enjoy Creamo margarine. Great for the budget, just right for the diet. Enjoy the rich, full flavor of Creamo margarine.
Hello, I'm John, I'm Paul, I'm George, I'm Rigo.
And it's time to pick your favorite Beatle on WIL.
Be the first to call Franklin 1-1430 or Express 82828.
And be ready to pick your favorite Beatle for the fantastic documentary album of
The Beatles on WIL.
The place, Paris. The scene, a fine restaurant along the Champs-Élysées. A toast to Paris and the start of a wonderful meal. Now, if you'd like to add a touch of Paris to your meals, you can do it in a matter of minutes with new flavor-rich Wonder Brown and Serve French bread. Yes, now you can make your bread as special as your dinner. Wonder Brown and Serve bread is like individual loaves of French bread. Your guests will love them, and you'll be glad to know Wonder Brown and Serve French bread toasts to a rich golden brown. The crust stays crispy just the way you like it. So next time you shop, be sure to get a packet or two of Wonder Brown and Serve French bread. Remember, Wonder Brown and Serve French bread is the delicious new way to add a touch of Paris to your meals.
From Paris we go to foggy old England. It seems like England right here today. We have Beatles we haven't even used yet. Dorothy Hagen at East St. Louis. Who's your Beatle buddy at 11 minutes after 8?
George.
George. Try for Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie. Answer it, you spy.
Hello, I'm John, I'm Paul, I'm George, I'm Rigo.
You do win a picture of the Beatles, and congratulations, you did get through to us anyway. And remember, keep trying. You may be a winner yet. Bye now. That's Dorothy Hagen, East St. Louis, Illinois. Crazy about you, baby.
I changed for good taste.
Good taste?
Yep, I changed to Winston, and I changed for good. When I changed to Winston, I changed for good, 'cause I got good taste like I knew I would. Winston tastes good like it should. Change to Winston and change for good. Yes, Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Change to Winston and change for good. For the good, rich taste you get only with Winston. For up front, ahead of the filter, Winston has Filter Blend, an exclusive blend of fine tobaccos selected to give you the best taste in filter smoking. Enjoy America's best-selling, best-tasting filter cigarette by far.
Change to Winston and change for good, 'cause Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
You realize, friends, with the Deano Day program at 12 and a half after 8 on a foggy Friday morning, that you can tell a man's occupation by looking at his shoes. I'll try this man right here. Sir, let me see your shoes. You are a golfer, is that right? You are a track star. Then you must be a mountain climber. Standing on a mountain looking down on the city. The way I feel is a doggone pity. Teardrops falling down the mountainside. Many times I've been here, many times I've cried. We used to be so happy when we were in love. High on a mountain of love. Night after night I've been standing here alone, weeping my heart out to cold red dawn. Praying now you're lonely and you come here too. Hoping just a chance that I get a glimpse of you. I'll Good morning, St. Louis. It's 8:15.
This is WIL Action Central News. First, foremost, accurate. WIL tells you more, says it better.
This is Gene Hurst. Cape Kennedy. The U.S. is preparing to launch another camera-carrying spacecraft to Mars within 2 weeks, in light of yesterday's Mariner 3 failure. Last night, the spacecraft lost contact with Cape Kennedy when solar fins failed to come up and absorb the sun's energy. The ship's batteries weakened and radio tracking data conked out. The next launch designed to carry cameras to within 10,000 miles of Mars to shoot 22 pictures of the planet. Detroit. The United Auto Workers Union and the Ford Motor Company have yet to reach agreement on contracts at 8 plants despite all-night negotiations. The negotiators settled at 3 plants early today, but progress at the 8 other plants apparently has bogged down with a strike deadline only a short time away. The plants will be crippled by a walkout unless agreement is reached. Augusta. Former President Dwight Eisenhower says he thinks the Republican Party can get back on its feet if it remakes its image. Eisenhower, speaking to newsmen yesterday in Augusta, Georgia, blamed the GOP's poor showing Tuesday on what he called the false image the public has of the party. He said many people see the GOP as a party for the rich and privileged. Mr. Eisenhower called on Republican leaders to start changing that image. Moscow, Russia's new Communist Party leader, is scheduled to speak this morning at a Moscow rally celebrating the 47th anniversary of the Soviet Revolution. The news agency TASS announced the address by First Secretary Brezhnev will be the main report of the gathering. One of the guests from other communist parties is Red Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai. London Communist China's leaders today issued a strong appeal to Russia for unity to advance common causes and oppose a common enemy. The appeal was aired by the new China news agency and monitored in London. The broadcast also called for a combined Soviet-Chinese effort to defeat imperialism, which it said was headed by the United States. The statement was signed by Premier Zhou Enlai, was addressed to Russia's new leaders. Vatican City, the Pope broke a 500-year precedent in the Catholic Church today when he attended a working session of the Vatican Council. Pope Paul was greeted by cheers from 22,000 prelates as he arrived for opening Mass this morning. The Pope reportedly came to personally push for greater missionary zeal in underdeveloped or non-Christian lands. St. Louis General Motors employees returned to work today in St. Louis after ratifying a new local contract which ended a 42-day-old strike on national and local issues. The settlement affected 6,500 employees at Fisher and Chevrolet plants in the metropolitan area. A small parts plant had previously settled its dispute, and about 500 workers were back on the job in the Hazelwood plant location some time back. United Auto Workers Local 25 split into 2 meeting sessions to approve the new contract yesterday. Full shifts were to report on all sites by the end of the day. The national settlement was reached last month between the UAW and General Motors. However, the strikers remained away from their jobs over local issues. While the General Motors strike was being settled, the St. Louis County Water Company strike goes on. Further negotiations between the company and representatives of the utility workers are scheduled for today. A 3-hour meeting yesterday at the offices of the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Service failed to produce a settlement. Clayton, St. Louis County Highway Engineer John Leslie said last night county voters had accepted what he called a pig in a poke when they approved the $16 million highway bond issue in 1955. Leslie told the county council that the funds set aside for the Interbelt Expressway would not buy nearly as much as they were expected to purchase.
Security Trust Company presents George Hicks.
Who's the businessman's best friend? A person-to-person banker. Through his skilled financial advice, many small and medium-sized businesses have turned problems into business profits. That is why Security Trust Company likes to serve the smaller businessmen. Their success and growth have meant success and growth for Security Trust. They have given Security Trust the highest earnings growth rate of any major St. Louis bank. Are you, as a businessman, using your bank to the fullest? Rapid business growth in young companies can create financial problems. Your banker can give you advice on financing new equipment on limited capital, inventories, accounts receivable, bank loans, converting private ownership to public ownership. And there's no extra charge for this advice. See your person-to-person banker today. Security Trust Company, 8th and Locust, 13th and Olive. Member FDIC.
The WIL revised weather, fair to partly cloudy today, high mid or upper 60s, partly cloudy tonight or low around 50. Partly cloudy to cloudy tomorrow with a high in the low 60s. The winds are calm, the humidity 100%, temperature in St. Louis now 43 degrees. The time 8:20. This is Gene Hirsch, WIL Action Central News.
Wonderful WIL.
Presenting Five Boys with
Hit number 4. Everybody knows you've been treating me right. Everybody knows you've been making me sad. Why you don't have to lie, 'cause I know I can see you don't want my love at all. I know I still love you. Everybody knows he's been hanging around. Everybody knows you've been making the town. He could never love you the way that I do. Or maybe I'll find somebody else I know. I still love you. There were nights I keep on crying, and I pray that you stop lying to me. Everybody knows you will never be mine. Everybody knows I've been wasting my time. I want to forget you as fast as I can, but every time I see you, try to make it again. I still love you. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
I'm so embarrassed. I'll never leave this house again. Not if everybody knows. 22 minutes after 8. Oh, it's 43 degrees in St. Louis in a foggy and smoky morning. The original smelling Irishman.
Take 5 before you drive. Take 5 before you drive. Take 5. Have a Standard Oil dealer condition your car for winter. Your Standard Oil dealer's the man to see. He'll check your car from A to Z. Take 5 for security.
Your standard dealer's Take 5 check includes motor oil and filter, battery and lubrication, antifreeze and spark plugs, heater and defroster, even your spare tire, everything from windshield washers to stoplights. And to ensure dependable winter-long performance,
My advice, sir, get de-icer.
always in American brand gasolines when you need it, and they're filtered one last time.
Filler up, filtered.
Drain and change to LDO motor oil
LDO.
at standard oil dealers.
Take 5 before you drive. See a Standard Oil dealer today.
You expect more from Standard, and you get it. Standard Oil Division, American Oil Company.
Win a box of apples for your teacher in your class from A&P Food Stores and WIL's Apple for the Teacher Award. An apple for the teacher. For WIL and A&P. An apple for the teacher. In 25 words, tell us why your teacher should be honored with WIL's Apple for the Teacher Award. All Greater St. Louis schools are eligible. Send your letters to Apple for the Teacher, WIL St. Louis 8, and you may win an apple for the teacher. Or you may win a bird for your Thanksgivings. We play the bird as a word. Or you may win maybe a beautiful corsage yet this morning as we congratulate our newest gal, Friday. Stay tuned to WIL where the action is.
The 1965 Buicks open a brand new styling cycle with the LeSabre, Wildcat, and Electra. The fabulous Wildcat leaps 3 full inches in the wheelbase up to 126, a length that equals that of Buick's luxury offering, the Electra. The LeSabre length eases 2 inches, but the interior room expands in all lines. Another styling change, the side glass. It curves. You can take a look at the beautiful new Buicks for 65 at Mallory Buick. Mallory is Missouri's largest Buick dealer and the finest selection in town. Mallory's a name that stands for dependability, for service. And now Mallory has a leasing plan that is sure to be of interest. When you drop by to take a look at the new Buicks, ask the Mallory man to explain the advantages of leasing a new 65 Buick. That's at Wildcat Town. Mallory Buick, 5730 Natural Bridge, where you can see the sign of quality a mile away.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick than any other car this year?
Wouldn't you really rather take the Deano? Sure. What?
Live it up, got the fun, it's living fun, it's fun, live it up, come on, live it, live it,
Great day in the morning, live it up at 25 after 8. Fritz Department Store is having a gigantic store-wide sale. Don't miss the spectacular savings in every department. Visit Brits in Normandy Shopping Center today.
From